everybody. Today I want to do a comparison between using acrylics mixed with Floetrol and the Liquitex pouring medium. I don't have the lid all the way on that yet. It's a big bucket, so let me see, get it over here to show you. Hopefully you can see it. I normally use Floetrol, and so this will be the second time I've used Liquitex. I did some videos last week, and I have not posted them yet. Most of them were a fail. And the reason they were a fail was because I did not have my surface as level as I thought it was. This one came out pretty well. And one thing I do like about the Liquitex pouring medium is that it has sort of a gloss finish and it's set quicker. So that I kind of appreciated. And this, I had some silicone in there. And here would be a comparison to a similar color scheme using, this one used Floetrol, this one used Liquitex pouring medium. So a little bit different. This has more of a plasticky finish, and this just has a little bit different, more of a matte finish. You can definitely tell, you know, that there's a shimmer on the Liquitex one, a little bit more glossy. So I'm not sure how much you can see. I've already mixed up my paints, 2-to-1 on both Liquitex and Floetrol. Floetrol will be here on this side, and Liquitex will be on this side. And I thought I would do pretty much the same technique for both. That way I could kind of compare later the feel of it. I think I also had mixed it too thin last time as well. And I think today I got it more what I'm used to with the Floetrol. So both are using the Liquitex Basics in these colors. And with white, that's the Artist Loft. And I have more of the white than I do of the other colors. What I think I want to do is just a regular flip cup, because I'm comfortable with doing flip cups. And since I'm comfortable with doing flip cups, then I figured, why not? Because then I'll kind of have something to compare it to. I also have my torch nearby. First I want to put a couple drops of silicone in each. I use this I got at Walmart in the automotive section. I went ahead and used my smaller craft sticks. I don't really like the smaller craft sticks, but for this it's not a problem. The Liquitex pouring medium sets a little more quickly, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start pouring with that one first. Let me check the leveling again, because the table is level. I went back through and leveled the table. Close enough. The weird thing is, it seems to make a difference on this particular table where I've actually set it down on the table. So I'm just going to mark the little puppy pad here so that I know exactly where I set it And I'm pretty sure I'm in this frame. So if I'm in the frame, you should be okay. I will double check with my handy dandy mirror. Let's see, I gotta check. Looks good. So again, this side is the Liquitex, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to put a little white in the bottom. Oh wait, I don't think I stirred. Okay. Yellow might take over a little bit, so I've got my cup taken care of here. And what I'm going to do is flip it and then let it sit while it does some things, and then I'll go ahead and mix up this cup. That way, we can speed things up a little bit. Now this cup isn't too full, and so normally I would just sit there and flip it right over the canvas without flipping the canvas, but this canvas is small enough I can do that. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm just going to let that have some fun by itself and get started on this cup. Try to do a similar, don't remember what order I did the other one. I'm just going to do it in this order. And this, I probably should have just gone ahead and done 2 layers instead of 3 in the first cup, but I'm trying to approximate similar experience. The Floetrol I did, and the Liquitex, I did 2 to 1, and I forgot to mention that I did add a little bit of water so that it wouldn't make any mounds when you dripped it off the stick. I'm going to hold off on flipping this one over here, the Floetrol one, until I finished with the Liquitex one, mainly because I don't want to be sitting there not doing anything. I may not have had quite enough paint, but we'll make this work. So if I don't get it all, if the paint doesn't go everywhere or cover the whole canvas, then the white will be for my negative space, so that'll be good. And it's a little bit thicker than the other colors, I think. Okay. Let that sit for a second, see if some lovely cells have already popped up. And you just got to be careful not to add too much heat. You don't want to scorch the paint. Let's see. Just gonna let that sit there a little more. Look at that. All those cells popping up. That's pretty sweet. Okay. Let's see what we got. I also tape the back of the canvases. I really don't care if I get paint on the back. I think it just proves that it's handmade. However, somebody else may not want that there, so I figured I could just go ahead and tape them. It's turning out rather interesting. It's not really a color combination I would have expected. Last time I used these three colors, it did what you saw on the other Liquitex one that I did last week, that I showed you earlier in the video, and it just came out differently. So I guess it's how I layered the colors. helping it enough, apparently. My white was too thick. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I did use the gigantic push pins on the bottom today. Should be watching the composition more, but I'm not. I'm really just, I guess, trying to get the feel of this. Some interesting cells popping up though. So I'm going to let that sit there while we work on the Floetrol one. And then I will torch that again in a minute while we're flipping this one. So I'm just going to flip it. And the other one, I know I did the other one by turning the canvas, but that just kind of gives you an idea that you can do it a couple different ways. It doesn't really matter because it's all going to come out the same way anyway. But I can tell you this one's going to look very different compared to the Floetrol one's going to look very different because I think I layered the colors differently. Probably could have used a little more paint in those cups, but that's okay. Can't learn without breaking anything, right? And I'm going to torch it again, but I'm going to change gloves for the other project just because I'm really trying to do a comparison. Still developing. I do like the way I layered the colors better here. also want to pop the bubbles too. Towards this one again. This one's very interesting. It has kind of that, the colors are kind of rich and regal looking, where this is going to just be a little brighter, maybe. We'll see. Depends on how I tilt it. Very different, isn't it? The way they behave, but I probably won't quit using Floetrol, but I think I'm going to definitely use more Liquitex. I mean, that is definitely fun. Let's see what else pops up in this other one. Torch this while you're still watching. Oh wow. Maybe today's just a good day for cells. Well, I'm going to let that set for a bit, and then I will come back and bring you in for a close-up so that you can see how it develops in about 10 or 15 minutes. Hey everyone, it's been about 10 minutes, and you were looking from the window. I took the tripod down so I could bring my phone closer, but you were used to seeing it that way. So here's the one with Liquitex, pouring medium. And what I like about this is how crisp the definition is between the cells. cells are still popping up. It definitely has a different look about it. Okay, so now we're going over to the one with the Floetrol and see. I like it for different reasons. This has lacing in it, and the lacing, like through here, is a little more blurry, kind of faded, makes you think of a galaxy or a nebula or something. But it is, I layered the colors differently. I wish I'd paid attention to what I was doing instead of talking so much. And I might have done them both the same way. But there you go. Floetrol, Liquitex pouring medium. Thank you for watching. So it's been several hours later, and I don't think you can really see it in this light, but the one with Floetrol already has a dry skin on the top. So that's pretty neat at the end of the day. This one with Floetrol, you can kind of see the edges have formed a little skin, but most of it's still pretty wet. Needless to say, though, I really like how they both have come out.